Emma Raducanu told to spend more time on court if she wants success. As Iga Swiatek's confidence in question ahead of Australian Open, Emma Raducanu has struggled with a series of injury problems, but will arrive at the Australian Open on the back of a promising display against Maria Sakkari in the United Cup. Mats Wilander is backing new coach Francisco Roig to get the best out of her. Iga Swiatek's confidence has been questioned ahead of the first major of the year. The Australian Open is live on TNT Sports and Discovery+. Mats Wilander thinks Emma Raducanu can compete with the world's best tennis players, but not until she plays consistently on tour. Since winning the US Open in 2021, the British number one has struggled with various injuries and has failed to make a big impact at major tournaments. Raducanu recently returned to the court following a foot problem at the United Cup, but was beaten by Greek player Maria Sakkari in 3 sets, despite the defeat. There were promising signs from Raducanu ahead of the Australian Open, which starts on Saturday night and will be available to watch live on TNT Sports and Discovery+. Speaking about her chances in Melbourne, Wilander told TNT Sports, "Well, I think she can do something like winning a couple of matches. I don't expect Emma Raducanu's game to be good enough where she can get to the quarters or semis or final, because I don't think her game is good enough and I don't think the preparation is there. I think she has the talent. I think technically she has the shots. I think the serve technically is good enough. I think in the future, she can be competing with the best players in the world, but she's not there. She doesn't need 2 months. She needs a couple of years of being on tour week in, week out to toughen her up physically and to toughen her up mentally. She's not ready to have a great tournament. And I'm hoping one day you will see Emma Raducanu that is physically ready. I know that injuries is bad luck, and to her, she's having too much bad luck." Raducanu has also faced off-court changes with a high turnover in coaching staff. She is now working with Francisco Roig, and Wilander is backing him to be a game-changer in her corner. Well, I think it's going to help because I think Emma Raducanu is still in the building part of her career. Even though she's won a Grand Slam, she's still trying to build a game, build the way that she wants to play tennis. And I think Francisco Roig understands tennis as good as any person that I've ever met in my life. And if not, the best. So he really understands the game. He understands technique. He understands tactics. And I think it's the perfect combination because she's building. She's not at the top. She doesn't need one word to change her tennis around. She needs a whole book to read out of. And Francisco can write that book for her. And it can really help her. Schedule pivotal to Swiatek's success. The Australian Open title is the one major missing from the trophy cabinet of Iga Swiatek. The 6-time Grand Slam champion arrives in Melbourne in poor form. Despite being a part of Poland's successful United Cup team, Swiatek lost her last 2 matches against Coco Gauff and Belinda Bencic. Wilander thinks confidence can be a major issue for the world number 2, but he thinks she will challenge in the first major of the season if she gets enough time on court. Well, the issue to me is that she needs matches. She's very similar to Rafael Nadal in that situation where she needs matches, Wilander said. And when you come from the end of the season, the year before, and you have 2 months when you don't play any matches, pretty much, it's going to affect some people. I think that Iga Swiatek, when she's confident, she's an absolute animal. She's unbelievably good. She believes in herself. But I do think that she's a very sensitive human being when it comes to confidence. When she doesn't have the confidence, her tennis is not as good because I think she needs confidence to believe that she's a great player. I think that if you compare it to Aryna Sabalenka, I think Sabalenka knows that she's a great player, and you cannot take that away from her, whether she wins matches or loses matches. Alex Correttia thinks the schedule will play a huge part in whether or not Swiatek ends up competing at the Rod Laver Arena towards the end of the tournament. I think once she's going to be in Melbourne, she's going to be one of the main favorites for sure. I think she likes the heat. She likes the conditions there, Correttia told TNT Sports. The only thing is, for me, it changed dramatically if you played day session or night session. I think for Iga, it's better to play day session because her forehead bounce much higher, her serve is more effective, and her backhand can get through the court a bit more than if she plays night session. But she will need to get used to that and be ready for whatever she faces. All the action from the Australian Open will be available live and on demand via TNT Sports and its streaming platform, Discovery+.